Hi guys, it's Sam from Creatively Sam's, and today I've made mushroom rice. This was a recipe that I made up when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and I honestly have not made this in a long time, but it is a really good side dish. So if you want to see how I did this, stay tuned. It's coming up next. Okay, you need 2 cups of cooked rice, a couple of ribs of celery, and a medium onion. And the first thing I'm going to do is make up the rice and set that aside. And I'm going to dice the celery and the onions kind of on the small side. And for my new subscribers, I burn candles when I cook with onions. Candle, for some reason, burning a candle absorbs the smell of onions. Not completely, but a whole lot more than if you don't. So I always have a candle burning when I'm cooking with onions. Alright, I'm going to get the rice cooked and chop up the celery and the onions. These are going to go in a small pan with water, and I'm going to cook them until they're translucent, and they'll be set aside. Alright, you also need 1 can of cream of mushroom condensed soup, 1 or 2 cans of mushrooms, pieces and stems. Depends on how much mushroom you like. You're going to need a half a can of milk. Half a soup can of milk. Your spices are onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, and parsley flakes. Okay, I've got the rice cooked and that's setting aside. Baby, that's hot. And I've got the celery and the onions in water, and it's just starting to boil. This is going to cook until the onions are translucent. And then I'll be draining that and setting it aside till it's cold. Okay, in a medium saucepan, I'm going to take the cream of mushroom soup. And to that I'm going to add a half a can of milk. And I'm going to stir this until it's well mixed over a low flame. Okay, and to this I'm going to mix the drained mushrooms, and I'm using 1 can. Actually, if I was just making it for me, I'd put 2 cans in because I love mushrooms. Okay, now I'm going to add the celery and onions, and I do have a tendency to make more than I need. So I'm going to put about half of this in, because I'm going to end up putting this extra in an omelet. And I'm going to add the onion powder, and by now you guys know that I do not measure, at least very rarely. And the garlic powder. oregano, parsley, and I'm going to let this simmer on a low flame for about 2 to 3 minutes until the spices combine with everything else. Okay, it's been simmering for about 2 minutes, and to this I'm going to add the 2 cups of rice. And I'm going to stir this to get it all mixed together and have the rice totally heated through. And this is about ready to be served. I came up with this concoction way back in, I don't know, in my teens or maybe early 20s. And I actually haven't made this in a while. And I don't even know what made me think about it. But I actually cannot wait to dive into this. It may need salt. Then again, doesn't everything that I make need salt? Okay, I'm going to turn off the flame because that is definitely heated through, and I'm going to plate it. Okay, I'm going to give this a taste. And look at those big chunks of onions and celery in there. Not to mention the mushrooms. Oh, this is so good. It really does need salt, but it is amazing. And I'll be serving this tonight with chicken and California mix. So if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and happy creating, everyone.